Hey gang, welcome back again to Ken Tamplin Vocal Academy, where the proof is in the singing. I'm doing a series called What Makes This Singer Great, and next up is Geoff Tate from Queensryche. You guys, if you wouldn't mind, please like and subscribe to my channel, that'd be great. Don't forget to ring that bell so I can keep more videos coming your way. And I have a singing course, it's called How to Sing Better Than Anyone Else. You can find it right here at kentamplinvocalacademy.com for you guys interested in learning how to sing. So with that said, Geoff Tate, what do I think of? Like I said, there's a lot of things that go into a singer, and it's not just, you know, range and power and this and that and blah, blah, blah. It's like it could be personality, it could be their ingenuity, it could be their innovations, which is what I'm going to talk about here with Geoff. Queensryche was an amazing band because kind of like Dream Theater and some of the other progressive bands, they were extremely innovative. And I think of Geoff Tate's range. Everyone thinks of Geoff Tate's range. And I think of Queensryche being very progressive, of course. You know, I think most people think of that. And Queensryche pretty much for the most part only wrote in all minor keys. Really think about that kind of darker minor key stuff, right? You think about his vibrato, kind of, right? That is his big wobbly vibrato, big thick, deep, thick vibrato. You think of some of his the tone that he on the bottom, Queen of the Rock. You know, there was that whole thing. You have Eyes of a Stranger. You have Take Hold of the Flame. We're going to go through a couple of these things first, but so that's what I think of. I think of very innovative. I think of Operation Mindcrime just being an absolutely phenomenal record. When it came in, I was like, oh my gosh, where did these guys come up with this? It reminded me a lot of like a good rock opera album done very well, but in their own unique kind of way. And very few bands can pull that off. So I think of it being very, very theatrical and very emotional and very kind of almost over the top melodramatic with his voice just really driving home, you know, some of the lyrics and concepts and the mood of the records. I think of that the band itself, because of it being a progressive band, it was very hard to emulate. It's like a lot of other bands I've heard try to do Queensryche, and they just didn't do Queensryche all that great. It's kind of like doing Dream Theater, right? Like I said, you know, it's pretty hard to reduplicate a band like that. So let's dive into a couple things here. I pulled out a few pieces. The first one I'd like to do is Take Hold of the Flame. I'll explain why for a minute, and in a minute as we go along, and take a couple of these things apart here. See, all minor key, right?
We see the lights and close of fireworks passing by.
Very emotional.
Too late to save the dream that's growing cold.
Oh, pretty low vocals for a guy that sings that high.
The fate must hide its face for those who try to see the distant signs of unforetold.
I like how he can sing light and heavy and in between too. Good mixed voice too. There's that vibrato. Holding long notes, I think of that, right? Good guitar tone. Okay, now I think of Geoff as using a lot of head voice. So he didn't bring up a lot of chest voice into his sound per se. He relied a lot on his head voice to do a lot of his high range, vocal work for him. So that's another thing I think of when I think of Geoff Tate. And he had some higher notes coming up here too. So, and I'm not going to make this all about range because we know that he has a lot of range. I want to go ahead and do Queensryche. I'm going to do Eyes of a Stranger next. I just want to kind of get the flavor of some different stuff for us here. Very unique chords, man. Nothing typical about that. Or about the band.
empty room today.
It's gonna be the theatrical, like Phantom of the Opera, right? It's cool.
And here I sit, chalk out line on the wall.
Very dramatic.
Singing it 1,000 times. The night she died. Boy.
It looks like he's living out. He's living out his music in his eyes. You see that? It's cool.
I can't pretend when all my dreams are crimes. I can't stand facing them.
So that's another thing I think of when I think of Queensryche. I think of going from kind of soft to soft to right, kind of back and forth, and this, play back and forth between, a light and heavy, right? It's kind of interesting.
Wash away my sins, clean my room, fix my meals, feed my
Double harmony leads and stuff like that. And their sound to me was always very European. I don't know if you guys feel the same way, but they had a very, very heavy European sort of influence. Now, there's one other thing I wanted to do because, let's see, where did I go? I got to get my glasses, guys. Sorry about this. I'm actually going blind these days, so I got to see. There's one more in here I wanted to do if I can find it. Yeah, here it is. Queensryche Live. This is, I think, the same, might even be the same show. Yeah, I think it is. So. I personally hear like an Iron Maiden influence, and kind of a Dickinson sort of that really wide vibrato. So there's kind of some influence, right, of some Iron Maiden in there too. So anyway, gang, tell me what you think of when you think of Geoff Tate, what made him great, what you love about him, if you've ever seen him live, what kind of show you saw them at, where you saw them, how they performed, how the band performed. The band was always excellent. I've never seen them live, shame on me, though I have seen a lot of TV performances and heard a lot of live performances from them through audio means as well. But tell me, put in the comments section what you think of Geoff Tate when you think of his greatness. And definitely, I'm doing this by request. So if you can think of a singer you want me to cover, hopefully I can get I don't want to say the rights, but the ability to do it, because YouTube restricts a lot of stuff. So I have to pick certain things that make sense. So it has to all work together where I can find a cool video, a good song, something that represents them well, not a bad night or something like that. I try to avoid that because we're looking for what made these singers great. So definitely check out my next video.